Yo, what's going on? My name is Sanchez, and I've got two news for you today. And both of them are gonna just blow your mind, and I'm being so serious right now. I've got some good news, and I've got some bad news as well. So let's start from good news. The good news is you live in the same reality with your goals, right? Let's just follow the logic. If you want something, like you want a Lambo, you want a pretty girl, or you want a six pack, right? There are people who already have that, so it is possible to achieve that. I just want to get that out of the way. It is possible to achieve your goals. Like this little thing that you have in your mind about like, oh, I want this, but I don't know. You can have that. Moreover, despite what all the red pill gurus say, you can have those goals without enduring enormous amounts of pain. You can get the girl of your dreams without doing all the weird red pill rituals, and you actually can get to 10K a month without changing your business and without changing your business model every 3 days. I know, crazy, but how do I know that? That's because I've done it. And so in this video, I'm gonna simply talk about my experience of getting there, and I'll tell you what it took. And if you watch till the end, I promise you the insane unlinear return on your time. I'm talking about years of progress and pain and just simply suffering and just hitting the wall after another. And so if such exchange is something that you would be interested in, then let's go. So 2 years ago, in one summer of 2022, everything changed for me. I draw this distinction in my head, and when I talk to people, I tell them that I draw this distinction before and after. And yeah, basically those short 3 months was that J-curve growth for me. It was my quantum leap year. Before summer 2022, me working a shitty job and every business, like entrepreneurship type shit, that I would try to start would fail, right? Every single opportunity that came to my hands would fail. I tried dropshipping, I tried SMA, everything failed. I tried getting the body of my dreams because I was kind of overweight and skinny fat. I tried getting that by kind of all this red pill take, right? I went bald, I kind of went to the gym 5 days out of a week. In a nutshell, was miserable, right? Didn't work for me. I kept quitting like every other month. And also, of course, every relationship that I would get into would, it seemed like it would just fail by itself. And if you mix in the limiting self-beliefs about myself and like self-depreciation thoughts, like it was too much. I remember this feeling of like my life felt like a swarm of problems, and I simply didn't know what to attack first. And but I'm very glad to say that just in one summer, that's how much time takes, by the way, the summer of 2022, everything has changed for me. Maybe one day I'll make a video specifically on what happened in those 3 months, but to summarize, I've made more progress in my business than I would in years trying, right? Simply in 3 months. I 18x'd my income, I think. I started actually traveling and working, because usually I would just lock myself in a room and be miserable for 8 hours simply doing what other people would tell me. But, you know, for the first time in my life, I had the chance to go on a festival, which, I don't know, man, it really meant a lot for me to be able to work from home and then just travel the world. Like that exact festival, I remember it was super important for me because it was like a testament of, yeah, I can work from home and then also I can travel and do the things that I actually like and not like sit there and do what other people tell me. This picture is like monumental. The first picture of like out of financial hell for me. And so this one could sound like a bit way too mystical and a bit like fake, but 2 years ago from now, I think, I've had a dream about a girl that, when you have a dream about girls and then you just wake up and look for them in real life. So I had that, and I don't know, it was just a very weird dream, and I was left with the feeling of like, okay, where is she, And I couldn't find her, so I was really upset. But 7 or so months ago, I found her, and she's now my girlfriend. So yeah, man, I don't know. For me, it might sound even more crazy than it really is, but the fact that I'm living it is kind of crazy to me. So my main question is, how did we get here? So with all those great news, right, with the fact that you can actually achieve those and you can do this with pretty short amount of time and without enduring crazy amounts of pain like all these gurus tell you. I've got some bad news as well. And my bad news that your own mind will probably not let you do it for now, right? So even though you can see all these cool things and you can kind of visualize and manifest, at the point at which your mind is right now, it'll simply not allow you to make this jump, to make this quantum J-curve, whatever, like this fast progress that all those people are talking about. And now here I am talking about this. It'll simply not happen. And let me explain you why it will not happen by telling you a short story. So 98 million years ago with an M, our brains as we know them today started to develop. And okay, bear with me for this bro science lecture for a second. I promise it will make sense in a bit. So nowadays, within our brain, modern biologists outline 3 different systems, 3 separate things that are inside our brains. And this is the lizard brain or reptilian brain, its limbic system, and its neocortex. Now, reptilian brain is the first brain that we've ever grown. So 98 million or so years ago, there was a lizard who first realized that to not get eaten by a fucking dinosaur, it should hide the fuck away from it. 3 things that our brain kind of taught itself to do to basically not die and survive within those like years where it could get eaten just any second. It learned instincts, and those instincts are hunt for food, so don't die from hunger. Escape the danger, meaning to escape the dinosaur or like any other predator that is bigger or more powerful than the lizard, and to reproduce, right? You don't want your bloodline to end on you, so you want to reproduce, you want to like make more of you. Those are the 3 main instincts, and they're often called like animal instincts. So yeah, big kudos to our lizard brain. Those things are pretty important. And also, like, big disclaimer, I am so much oversimplifying those concepts. This is literally like bro science right here, but this is like how I understand those concepts and how I want to bring them to you today. So this was our lizard brain. Now the limbic system, I'm not gonna go into detail too much, but it's basically responsible for your emotions, right? If you're depressed, if you're happy. So if you're stressed before an important call, that's limbic system. If you're hyped because you got a swipe on Tinder, that's limbic system. If you're stressing while you're recording a video, that's also limbic system. And now let's get to the most important, most interesting thing that we have here is neocortex. The layer of our brain that honestly had the least amount of time to develop. We only had it for 1.5 million years, but it happens to be the most useful in the times we live now, right? So you can argue that emotions are not too important nowadays, and these things, you don't usually hunt for food, right? You just get hungry and you kind of buy it. You don't escape the danger, you just go home and sleep, right? You escape the element. You used to escape element by like building houses, like, you know, brick by brick yourself and just sleeping in caves. Now you just what? Rent an Airbnb. Crazy, crazy world. And so what neocortex can offer us as people? Well, first, it gives us consciousness. It's pretty cool to, you know, be able to think about lifting a hand up and just lift it. Having consciousness is like so cool because you no longer have to like blindly follow the instincts and like get food anytime you're hungry. You can like, okay, I'll skip dinner today. You know, I'll diet. You can actually do that in neocortex. Second thing, it allows for us to output and understand speech. So the only reason you understand what I'm saying right now is because of neocortex and memory. That's right, like every single YouTube video you've ever watched, and I mean like every. Our brain records every single thing you've ever seen. Every single song lyric, every single poem that you ever learned is in neocortex. Well, some things are like better hidden than others. For example, like birthdays, right? For some reason, nobody can remember anyone's birthday. Of course, I'm joking, but I think you get the idea. And the way I like to think about it is neocortex is like a new iPhone 15, right? And lizard brain, reptile brain is like a Sony Ericsson, right? Or like fucking whatever you had. I don't know. I had Nokia Express Music. It had like 2-megapixel camera. It's a banger phone, just the best phone out there. But you know, iPhone is slightly better, I would say. So in our normal everyday life, we just go about our days, and usually we rock that iPhone, right? We rock the neocortex, everything is fine, like we have consciousness. Life is good, right? We set those goals, we hit them, sometimes we don't. But sometimes, and for some people it's more often than others, something would happen where your reptile brain will perceive something, some stressful situation in your life, as dangerous to your life. And because of the time it took for reptile brain to develop, it will simply hijack the control of your brain and will say, hey, you know, I'm daddy here, bitch. Like, you know, I'm lizard brain, motherfucker. Obviously, it's not very useful in our everyday life. For example, those stressful situations, by the way, include those 3 topics, right? It's reproduction, getting resources, and getting shelter. So think about the last time you tried to talk to a girl you like, right? So your neocortex says that all you have to do is come up, say hi, and kind of introduce yourself. But your lizard brain says, okay, so what if she rejects you, right? You know those memes, like the worst she can say is no. And your brain is like coming up with, you know, all those crazy scenarios where you'll downright like die if you just say something. And instead of hi, because the lizard brain kind of hijacked your neocortex, you say some dumb shit, and she just says you're weird. And even though in this situation, right, you're not in danger, you're just trying to talk to a human being, your lizard brain is trying to save you from like losing your life, losing everything, because, you know, of the perceived danger of doing this. And you know, the crazy thing that it happens to everybody. That's right, no matter how strong of a sigma male you are, your lizard brain sometimes would hijack your neocortex. And between me and my friends, we call it to regress, right? Brain regress. Someone told me the other day, like, dude, I'm behind this task for university, but like, I feel bad about sending an email saying that I'm late because I say, dude, like, you're in regress, you're regressed. And he was like, shit, yeah, you're right, I am. All the major frustrations in your life, like every single one of them, if you track it down, like it's to the point that like you can simply recall, okay, what was the last major like pain point event in my life that happened to me and I wasn't happy with it? Chances are like 99% of the chance that it was because of neocortex being hijacked by lizard brain. And so to drive this point home even more, I'll tell you a story of what happened very, very recently with me, right? And by the way, the fact that like I left, you know, summer 2022 with like great results doesn't mean that it doesn't happen for me anymore. What happened on sales call? In my neocortex, right? I know that, okay, so my service costs 5K and I want to charge 5K. Okay, I bring a lot of value, 5K, boom, let's go. Then when I go to call, my life-saving mode activates and my lizard brain starts to crawl like, well, 5K is a lot of money. And what if you fail them? What if you fail your client? What if you mislead them and then they will be upset with you and then they'll ask for a refund, but you already like spend money on like output for the service. And this made me like super, you know, 15 minutes before the call, it made me like super stressed, super anxious. So I decided to lower the price, and I didn't lower the price like 10 times, but like I lowered the price significantly. And then the client says, no. And the reason they said no is because they were ready to pay like 5K or more because they knew how much value I'm gonna bring. But when I said this low of a price, they thought that they were being scammed, right? When, you know, in reality, I was just downplaying my worth. So stuff like this happens every day. I just wanted to drive this point in. So if you've been listening up to this point, it all might sound kind of sad, right? There is a mechanism inside you that simply is afraid for your life and therefore just blocks you from getting success. But you have to understand that simply knowing this, you already got ahead of like 99% of people. Like all this knowledge I'm transferring to you from all of my like therapy sessions, and also my dad is a psychiatrist, so he talks to me about it a lot. But simply knowing that there is a fucking lizard in your brain that has a capacity to kind of hijack your whole shit and kind of run it by itself, it works a lot. So, and back to the summer of 2022, right here. The main thing I realized here is as long as I stay in neocortex and do the tasks I will win. Like, I will get what I want. The crazy part that it is really all it takes, right? It's you saying yourself, hey, let's do the work, and you not jumping into lizard brain and saying, well, work is hard and I don't want to work hard because I might die, right? You want to say, okay, let's do the work and actually do the work. For me, I remember back then, I was running a short form content agency. And for me to get results meant to get more clients. And I knew very well that to get more clients, I should just message 100 people, get rejected 99 times, and sign that one client. And I cannot express how much I like dreaded like texting people and getting rejected. I just hated it. And I can tell you, I was so afraid that I just wasn't doing it, right? And so everything changed when I realized that all I have to do is leave regress and just do the tasks. And that's exactly what I did. Everything changed for me when I left regress, got the leads, worked the leads, and then closed the leads. I know, sounds insane, sounds crazy. But the fact that I was able to tame my inner lizard brain led me to success. And you know, I was right about like kind of people rejecting me and kind of not responding, because 98 people out of the 100 did not respond. But I wasn't looking for them. I was looking for 2 people out of the 100 who would actually pay me money and like use my services. And from that point on, I just kind of never stopped since. TLDR. From now on, your main task should be to stay in neocortex as long as you can and not get regressed into a lizard brain. Actionable task for you, when you go about your day, simply ask yourself, is lizard brain in control right now? Like, am I regressed right now? Before making the decision, before making that call, before making plans, am I in neocortex or am I in the lizard brain? And as you keep asking yourself that question, you will just start to slowly snap out of it. And yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you want to know how I leave regress and how I make sure that I don't get there too often. All right, see ya.